Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsacharuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. The third chapter, the third verse, the third chapter, the Karma Yoga. We took the first two verses last Friday. The third verse is, I'll chant Sanskrit and then we can see, we'll translate it. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Lokesmin Dvivida Nishta Pura Prokta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. The Blessed Lord said, O unblemished one, that is Arjuna, among these people, two kinds of steadfastness were spoken of previously by me in the yoga of knowledge for the people of realization, in the yoga of action for yogis, people devoted to actions. The translation could be a little different. So the Lord is clarifying. Arjuna, in the first two verses, is saying, you tell me for certain which is the best for me. You've spoken of things which are now confusing to me. You tell me for certain what I ought to do. So that's why the Lord now is placing this verse in front of him. So it's Sri Bhagwan. What is Sri Bhagwan? Everybody wants to become a Bhagwan. You know, there's so many Bhagwans. There's some Bhagwan here, Bhagwan there, Bhagwan there. In India, we have plenty of Bhagwans. As God. It's a kind of a status. But then the Vishnu Puran, one of the, you can say, mythological literature devoted to Vishnu, says that who is Bhagavan? One who has Bhaga is a Bhagavan. That is that. One who possesses 6 supernatural or divine qualities is called a Bhagavan. Now, what are those qualities? He who knows the birth and the death of every being. One who knows who is on what path. And one who knows how much of knowledge and ignorance one has. Well, omniscient, obviously. If Bhagwan would not know this, he would not be a Bhagavan. Simple as that. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you mean don't know? You're running this whole business. You don't know. So on and on, even in this, the 4th chapter, Arjuna also asks, you were born the other day. I know you. So he says, oh no, I have taken many births and you have taken many births. I remember all of them. You don't remember all of them. It's not only human births. We think we are kind of special here in this creation. Creation is meant for us. Oh no. We also meant for creation then. So we are apt to think that, oh, Bhagwan is kind of favorable to us human beings. So one who knows the birth and the death or the dissolution of each and every being, utpattim pralayan syatu. Every. One who knows one who knows how one is proceeding on one's chosen path, or one is not proceeding, or is taking the wrong path. He knows that. And one who knows jnana and ajnana, one who knows how much knowledge is within us and one who knows how much ignorance is there. So that means your Bhagwan is not a kind of with the 4 arms or 6 arms and blue color and 20 legs and 50 stomachs. No. This guy must be somewhere inside to know everything. Yeah. This is what. So omniscience and omnipotence and omnipresence, whatever you like to say. In Vedanta, God has to be brought back inside. Yeah. In fact, Swami Vivekananda nicely says that God in the heaven was dethroned. Yes. The personal God was broken down. We don't want a personal God, like a kind of a king who sits down and does things. Of course, in these days of democracy, nobody likes this monarchy anymore, as we know. So the personal God is broken down, and the personal man and woman is broken down. And God is built up in a spiritual form. And the human being also is built up in a spiritual form. And the Vedanta then shows the succeeding stages where the spiritual human being approaches the spiritual God. And then they converge and meet. That is the whole scheme of Vedanta. So here we have, so what is, we break the personal God, and what happens then? It brings in the impersonality of God. This is, you are personal. At the same time, there is an aspect within you which is impersonal, universal. So both lines converge. So this is Bhagwan. Shankaracharya in his brilliant introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Jnana, Bala, Virya, Tejo, Sada, Sampanna. No, that God has all the powers, majesty and beauty, and you can say, strength. Yes, the person is free. And all these. So, when we say Sri Bhagwan Uvacha, what is this? No, this is a kind of a being, an impersonal being who is within us and also without us. So that God is the closest of this close. You must not think of it that I've got to go there to see God. No. He is even closer than your own individuality. Now you're getting the idea of Vedanta. You don't have to go anywhere outside yourself to find this being. Okay? So this is Bhagavan Uvacha. Then he says, in this world, there are 2 kinds of steadfastness spoken of by me previously. When did he speak? In the 2nd chapter. The very essence of the Bhagavad Gita, all the rest of the teachings till the 18th, has been given in an encapsulated form in the second chapter. And then there's a gradual unfolding of that in order for different minds to approach that essence differently. So he says, I spoke to you about this, saying, in this world, there are two types of steadfastness. If you tell a person, sit down quietly, that person will keep on daydreaming. No, the mind, I don't know if your science says that the default mode of the brain is to daydream. Yes, you keep a person quiet, he will not sit down quietly. He or she will, they'll keep on daydreaming. Well, they say that is kind of, that's a seat of creativity and this and that. But whatever it is, I don't know. But we simply can't gather that mind in one spot like we tried to do for the last 10 minutes in the meditation. Gather your mind. There's something that drags us out, and after a while, and this is the world of karma, after a while you get bored, you get disgusted, you get fed up, you get frightened, whatever. There's a kind of a reaction. You go out, do something, and then after a while, I had enough, let's go home. There. You want to come back home. These two energies are constantly molding and remolding you, me, and the whole universe. It's nothing that it's only in me. No. Everything is in the process of fragmentation and integration. Constantly. And this is how this universe is being transformed. Now, accordingly, say in this world there are two types of steadfastness. There are some people who are extremely, you can say, restless, outgoing, or the workaholics or whatever. They keep on, the mind is like a racing. And there are some who are kind of calm, quiet. Maybe they are lazy, maybe they are kind of indolent, maybe they are... when you have a kind of a maturity, you tend to not be so quickly deluded by the world, by your mind, everything. So there is a kind of steadiness that comes within you. So here the Lord says, in this world there are these two types of energies, and these two types of energies kind of, they, as they say, manthan in Sanskrit, they kind of churn you. Both these energies, one is, like Swami Vivekananda said, circling away and circling inwards. Both these energies, they churn your insides, your mind and all these things. Let them, that's a part of the nature. And if the churning is correct, these energies which are material in nature, they become mental, those same energies become spiritual energies. It's not that, spirituality, we want spirituality. Yes, you've got to kind of undergo that churning process, and then all those energies rise and become spiritual. It's simple as that. In fact, this whole universe is trying to make us spiritual. Nothing else. If we don't listen to that, we'll get hit on the knuckles. When we were young, teachers used to say that when we were young, you take that ruler, the scale, and what did you do? Ow. Yeah, get a hit on the knuckles. Oh, yeah. We went through that, brother. So we do something, and then we get our fingers burnt, or we get hit on our knuckles. Oh, we make mistakes. We take corrective measures. We become wiser. This is the process of spiritual growth. Yes. And that's the reason why every experience in your life is important. No experience is useless, hopeless, a waste of time. No. If you can look at each and everything you do in your day and in your month and a year and a whole life, it's been leading you gradually upwards. No, you see what happens is there's a conservation of energy. Nature will not waste a good thing. She will see that everything is useful. She will never create two things which are similar. Impossible. No two raindrops are similar, no two snowflakes are similar. Nothing is similar. If they are similar, she'll kill off one. She'll keep one. Nature is very stingy. So everything in nature is unique, including you, including all your experiences. We tend to brush all these things away. What are you doing? I'm having a cup of tea. Well, that's what I've been doing for years and years. What's that? No. Pay attention. And that drinking tea, that ordinary action, will lift you up. And that's the whole of yoga. Pay attention. And you will find the ordinary action of yours has now become transformed. You're learning from it. So, this is what? In this world, there are two types of steadfastness, you say. So, two, what? Two, one here, there, no. Like, are there two paths? One to heaven and one to hell? No. Vedanta says, these two things, we don't like these two. You stick to one. And not only one, they say not two. They don't even say one. Not two. Well, So, what the Lord means here, the yoga of action, that steadfastness in action, will lead you to the steadfastness in knowledge, in wisdom. It has to. All your experience have to be oriented towards that. Here in in India and everywhere, even in America, everybody's after Kundalini and Kundalini yoga and this and that. And my God, when I came here in California, it says we get crazy. Kundalini. So I said, what's Kundalini? That's a snake there. I said, it's not a snake there. No? It's symbolically represented as a kind of a snake. Oh, yes. Then what is that? All what you have experienced all your life are those coiled up experiences. Everything that you have done, everything, all those memories are as it were coiled up and ready to start. If you had paid attention to everything that you have done, then your Kundalini, that snake, would have risen long time back. It's simple. This Kundalini business and all, it's a money-making, of course, racket, kind of. So, if we pay attention to everything we do, like they say Zen, Zen, be like a Zen master. That's what the whole idea is. pay attention to everything you do. You will be able to work more in less time, number one. You will be able to conserve energy. Yeah. And not only that, you will be able to help others on a very subtle level. So all these experiences are coiled up within us. And after all this attention it has been given, it wants to rise up and rise up and rise up and become that spiritual energy. It's nothing. Okay, we'll come down to that later. So, he had spoken of, he said, I have spoken about it in the second chapter. And he says, O unblemished one, O sinless one rather. He is calling Arjuna unblemished or sinless. Arjuna means pure, white. Yeah. That is, this person is ready for knowledge. Yeah. Because if the mind is deflected outwards all the time, if it does not undergo that churning process, we will never become that pure. What is purity and what is impurity? You forget. Just keep on paying attention, get churned, and you will find yourself becoming pure. Purity means simple unselfishness. The more you become unselfish, the more pure you are. Simple as that. You take all that, take your heart out, it's black, and you wash it, and all that black color goes out, and you have a white heart. It's just unselfishness. That's it. So, once you understand, he's telling you, you are now competent to this type of instruction. Now, there's always a glamour about, this Jnana Yoga. You don't have to do much. Just find out, who am I? Who am I? In California, everybody, who am I? I said, come here. If you keep on saying that, people will doubt your sanity. You want me to tell you who you are? Don't you know who you are? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Well, you don't need to say all that. Yeah. For a devotee, that person is sure, I'm a child of God. Simple as that. Why are you searching, who am I? Who am I? You're wasting your time. And you're confused. I'm a child of God, or I'm a part of God. Your identity has been established by the scriptures, by the reality. You don't be, who am I, who am I? So, that glamour is there in Jnana Yoga. You just find out who you are. Okay, crazy. So, because you know why? There are some people who are kind of escapist. They take the kind of this kind of shortcut. Find out this Jnana Yoga is the Karma Yoga, that it entails a lot of effort, a lot of trouble, and that's why people say, that's kind of troublesome. But until and unless you don't go through that stage of purification, of becoming unselfish, you will never know what your reality is. Yeah, you will never come to this. Later on, he says, Sarva karma akilam partha jnani parisamapya. That is, all works. He says, all works in their entirety, he says, all works end in knowledge. Yes. You see, you work, at the end of the day, you have increased your knowledge. The day you don't work, you're on that same level. Work brings you knowledge. Always. If you are doing it correctly, it will bring you knowledge. You gain every time you work. So that's the reason why he said, the very, you can say, the both these steadfastness in knowledge and in work, in karma yoga, one leading to the other, they are both there within us. We are being helped by nature. We just need a little focus, a little attention, and we will be carried forward. You have not to fight with all these kind of, this person does not let me meditate, that person does not let me go to that temple and this. No. It's there within you. It's there. Learn to take advantage of all the universal forces that are helping you to become spiritual. Don't be an escapist. In religion, in fact, I remember when we were young and saying, it's good to become monks, we are saying. See these monks, they don't do anything, whole day sitting down. So there was one aspirant, he goes to a guru saying, Sir, I would like to become a monk. Oh no, it's very difficult. Really? I thought it was easy. No, very difficult. What do I ought to do? Saying you've got to get up very early in the morning, finish ablutions and bathe and go and fetch water and fetch firewood for the sacrifices. You go to the cow shed, clean the cow shed, feed the cows, and he gave a long list of duties from morning till night. There is a holiday? No, there is no holiday in spiritual life. And then he says, remember, there is not much food here, very little food. Huh? So he was kind of dismayed. Sir, what do you do? Well, I sit down and teach. I counsel people. Then make me a guru. Don't want to do anything. I also can sit down and I can teach and preach. Why should I go through that long course of troubles from morning to night? So everybody wants to become guru. So it's like that. People they want to come to Jnana Yoga without Karma Yoga. That is a kind of a dangerous. So that's why he's saying, for the Sankhyas, for the people of knowledge, Jnana Yoga is given. Because it takes a different kind of, you can say, mind for this. You need to, Totapuri was Sri Ramakrishna's Vedanta Guru. And all these monks of that sect, they used to tend that sacred fire. They keep it with them all through. When it's evening, they put these, you can say, fuel, and it blazes upwards and they meditate. So one person, he went to light his hookah from that embers. And this is a sacred fire, and Totapuri got so annoyed. And the monks there, they carry a long pincer. He went to hit him with the pincer. Oh, you fella. So Sri Ramakrishna says, you are the one who says the external world does not exist. And yet, you are getting angry. Oh yes, you're right. I will never get angry from now on. These people have that kind of will. And he never got angry from that. They have that tremendous will. And this willpower comes actually through work. Yes. Swami Vivekananda in his Rajyog says, it's a kind of there's a tremendous will within you. How do you develop it? Oh, it's easy. You've got to make yourself a unit of will. It's not that will is some year or year or year or year somewhere. Your whole body is a kind of a will. How he places it, if you can rhythmically breathe, we don't breathe correctly. Some of us breathe more on the left nostril, some of us breathe to the right nostril, some breathe to the left. It's kind of, sometimes it is very erratic. When both the nostrils are open, you breathe correctly between both these nostrils. That's a time when the mind is calm and you can meditate. So what's happening is, certain emotions or certain thoughts disturb the flow of your breath. The mind is intimately linked with your breath. See, when I'm angry, you see how my breath goes. And when I'm calm, your state of the mind can be known by your breathing. So, saying regularize your breathing. Breathe in a kind of measured way. What happens is, the breath will flow in and out, and that breath will calm the nerves. The nerves, all these nerves which are running down, they will flow in a kind of a measured way. There will be, the nerves have been shown to have polarity. They kind of conduct electricity. And so, you become a kind of a battery of will, he says. When your body and your mind and your breath is harmonious, you become willpower. That is what one should strive to. In the sense of, it comes. So, and then there's no power in this world that can stop you from attaining anything. Because our breath and our mind is fragmented and our body sometimes going here and there, our will is not strong enough. The moment you can do that, you have unlimited will. So till that time, it is not advisable to take up Jnana Yoga. Sri Ramakrishna said, tie the knot of Advaita in the corner of your cloth. That is okay. Know that you are the Atman, and now plunge into work. Yes. Never kind of be half-hearted or kind of do it in a half-baked way, as they say. Plunge in, get inside. And when you have gone through it, then will calmness come. Then you are fit for this. So, a lot of people, they say, he spoke about yoga, yoginam, that is for yogis. What is yogis? Is it karma yogi? Yes, according to this philosophy, everything, either it's bhakti yoga, or karma yoga, or raj yoga, it falls within karma yoga. Because we are still aware of our personalities. The moment you are aware of your personality, that is, you have to be engaged in work. Every thought you think is work. Every breath you breathe is work. Every movement that you do is work. Some of the work is conscious, some of the work is subconscious, but we are working all the time. This whole universe is working. That is what. So we are right now competent to work. They do it. There will come a time when work stops. Yes. That means your breath will stop, your mind will stop, your body will stop. In the highest states of kind of knowledge, your body goes into a kind of advanced hibernation. Yes. It's very difficult if am I breathing? What happened to me? There you can see the wisdom flashes. Can you live on wisdom? Yes. Because wisdom is bliss. You tried solving any kind of problems, or you're trying to do something, and when you get it, it is knowledge that gives happiness, not anything else. So it's wisdom. Can you live on wisdom? Yes. You'll be the happiest person. Because right then you don't have the duality of subject and object. Work entails subject and an object. So in the state of knowledge, you are there, happy. Sri Ramakrishna he used to sometimes move around, pace up and down, beaming to himself, immersed in his own kind of bliss of the self. That's what in the gospel it comes enough. It's called Atma Rama, one who disports in oneself. So oneself it's a small thing. No, it's a huge thing. You are a small thing. That is what knowledge will give you. Right now, where is the Atman? Sir, where is the Atman? Is somewhere there, here, somewhere, the side. You are big and the Atman, all these things have become small. There will come a time when the Atman will become huge and you will become small. That is knowledge. The whole world will become small and the reality will be huge. So that's what. Yoga, a lot of people they think yoga means let's do some headstand or handstand or something like Hatha yoga and this and that. And yoga has two meanings, two technical meanings. One is intense concentration. That is yoga. And the other meaning is to yoke. The English word yoke comes from the yoga, yoke, yuj, from the. So to join. And that process is a kind of a slow process. Join your senses with the body. Right now the senses are running about. You integrate your senses with the body. Integrate your body with your life breath. Integrate your life breath with your mind. Integrate the whole, you can say, package with your intellect. And then you integrate or yoke the whole thing again with your individual soul. This is a process of yoga. To join together, to yoke together. So, the lowest to the highest. One thing should be merged in the next, and the second should merge in the third should be merged in the fourth and fifth. This is here. And the other meaning is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. They use the meaning of intense concentration. Intense concentration will come through practice. And how? Through work again. So, I remember once I was saying, we should joke with my guru a lot, and then he's saying, what is the need of reading this book and that book and this book and that? What? Sri Ramakrishna says, what's the sign of knowledge? There will not be even one book with him. What? His or her own mind has become the book. The whole universe is reflected in that book, your own mind. One can read that book. And we need to this and that and this. So what's the utility in all these things? So he's saying it will make your intellect sharp and one-pointed. That's it. So all work kind of sharpens that intellect. This is what is required for Jnana Yoga. You cannot take a blunt instrument and say, I'm a Jnana Yogi. Okay. So, O unblemished one, among these people, that is, people in the world, two kinds of steadfastness was spoken of by me previously. In all the people, there's no one is left out of it. We are all included. In the yoga of knowledge for the people of realization, and in the yoga of action for the yogis. So I think the fourth verse is Na karmana manarambhat naishkarmam purushosnute na cha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. A person does not attain freedom from actions by the non-performance of actions. Yeah. Nor does the person attain fulfillment through mere renunciation, through abandoning work. I want to give up everything. No, you're not even ready for it. A person should work, and that is the way to freedom. Simply saying, oh, I can just, as some teachers say, take the intuitive leap. What do you mean intuitive leap? No, you don't have to go to in that subconscious mind. What do you mean? Until your subconsciousness is not transformed, it's going to drag you down. You can't take an intuitive leap. It's like a kind of a like pole vault. No, you can't do any pole vaults here. You have to go through each and every stage of your practice. So that's why a person does not attain freedom from actions by the non-performance of actions. This is important. Later on he will say, you keep quiet and sit down. I don't have any desires, really. But mentally that person is thinking. He will see later on such person as a hypocrite. Yeah. It's better to go. So one of Sri Ramakrishna's disciples, Swami Satyamayananda, who lived in New York for some time. So Sri Ramakrishna said, whom do you love? He kept on thinking, I don't think I love anybody. Oh, you dry fellow, get out! Scolded him. What do you mean you don't love? It's your nature to love. You love. So, why? Because it will entail a lot of problems. Yeah. Legal issues, non-legal issues, emotional issues, intellectual issues, so many issues. If I love, better to avoid this. What should I do? I'll go to that ashram and I'll pray whole day. That you can't do. You will have to follow your nature. Don't try to escape anything. Religion is the one thing that is a solid form of reality. The other things in the world, cinema, drugs, liquor, they're all trying to kind of make you forget all your troubles, forget all your duties, forget all the realities and forget all the stupidities that you are doing or you're going to do. They try to kind of make you forget. It's only religion that says, get up and work. No halfway house here. And if we can understand this, then it becomes meaningful. Everything else, everything is songs and dance and everything is trying to make you forget your own self. For a moment it engages you. Why do people go for intoxication? They are feeling a kind of a vacuum. There is something. Or their personality has become so oppressive. Their karma has become so oppressive. They want to just forget it for a while. Imagine if we couldn't sleep. Sleep, my God, thank God. Yes, let us sleep at least. But if you are troubled, you don't get that also. So for a while, you sink into oblivion. The next morning again. So it's just that we have to face our own realities. Are you comfortable with your personality or with your identity? If you are a spiritual person. People want to know, hey, that person is meditating for 8 hours, very spiritual. I said, no, that's another easier way to understand. If you are comfortable with yourself, you are spiritual. If you can face yourself, you are spiritual. But what about all the dark deeds I had done? Yeah, well, face it. And don't worry about it. Don't be frightened about it. Yes, this is one thing that we say, oh, I have done so many things, I have hurt so many people. Okay, we all make mistakes. But now don't get frightened about all this. Because these are just memories. They have a kind of a reality, unreality about them. Why are you frightened about your shadow? There was one saint who was going about in his wanderings, and he's seen a young mother trying to console a child. And what happened? The child is kind of agitated, screaming. The child is trying to catch its own shadow. And the mother is trying to understand that you cannot do that. So that monk says, come here. Saying, you can put our backs to the sun. Can you see that? You see my shadow? Yes. See your shadow? Yes. You want to catch it? Yeah. He went to run. No, you don't. Stay still. Stand still. And do what I do. Okay? Yeah. So he caught his shadow like this. He just put his hand on his head. You see, I caught my shadow. Can you do that? Yeah. And the boy also, oh, I've caught my shadow. Simple. So why are you frightened? Why are you running about? Why are you agitated? You're running after your shadow self. It's very easy to catch your shadow. Don't worry. It is that old memories and old dark deeds that frighten us. Don't be frightened about this thing. There's a kind of a reality, unreality. They'll be there even if they are. What is that to you? So the idea is, don't run away from yourself. Face yourself. And you are the person who can give tremendous joy and happiness to yourself and to others. That's the idea. If you're happy, you can make others happy. If you have a long face, you'll make everybody around you with a long face. You see? Everything is infectious, isn't it? Long faces, round faces, short faces, all types of faces are kind of infectious. So here the first line of the verse tells you, don't be an escapist. Face that. And the second is, don't take a shortcut and say, I'll be a monk and I will know. It reminds me of another story. There was one guru and his disciple both meditating. So they opened their eyes and seen, kind of in front of the river bank, They were on the river bank, they were meditating there. And they seen in that fast flowing water, somebody must have kind of lost or dropped their woolen blanket, kind of black in color. So the guru tells his disciple, go and get that blankets as floating downstream. We can use it, you can dry it. So the disciple also knew one. He wants to show how brave he is, how obedient he is to his. He plunged in the river, swam, caught hold of that blanket, and is dragging it. And what happens is, The current is fast and it's pulling him downstream very fast. The Guru said, this guy might drown him, will smash his head against something. You leave that blanket, let it go, let it go. You come out, come away. Saying, oh Guruji, I have left that blanket, but that blanket is not leaving me. It was a bear floating downstream. The moment one guy comes to catch it, he catches that, dragging him down. It's like that most of the times we get into something, no, kind of, and then I want to get away from it, but I can't get away from it, really. I've been caught. But I make a kind of a case for myself, I'm free from that rubbish, that nonsense. Let me go and become a monk. Let me go in the cave and meditate. Let me go in the forest and where there are no people, I will sit down and meditate. It's not possible. Renunciation and all these things is natural. Until and unless there is no sacrifice behind your actions, there can be no renunciation. So it's a long course in kind of that person has to sacrifice. So here you say, don't try to escape. People everywhere say, see, there's a past life regression. Yeah. Saying, Swami, do you know past life regression? I said, why should I go back? I have to go in the front. Why should I go back? No, you see, this past life regression. I said, most of this is all hopeless. Why? If the person regresses into his past life, there will come renunciation with the power of thunder. I've seen it all. I've been at the topmost crest. I've been at the pits at the bottom. I've seen through all these kind of things. And renunciation will come as a natural course. Renunciation should always come through knowledge. So then what about all these cases? They go down to their memories. It is not going in their past life. They are going down to their memories. And the memories are very tenuous. I think I told you last time. You see a rabbit and you see a deer, and the mind has created a rabbit with antlers. You don't know how it has happened, but it has happened. Don't trust your mind. The mind can take you for a ride. Yeah. So they are not going to their past lives. They are going down to their memories, which, again, memory is very deceptive. Be careful. So, it's not real. And I said, then somebody comes and say, these psilocybin, you have these psychedelic drugs and all these things. They go into a kind of consciousness trip. I said, listen, again they are going in their own mind. They are not going outside to some heaven or some celestial realm. They do not go outside. There is a consciousness which gets fragmented because the firing of the neurons gets disturbed. So consciousness appears kind of fragmented and gives beautiful hues and colors and this sounds and this and that. Oh, I've seen this, no. And they talk about it as spirituality. I had a transformation of consciousness. No. So, real religious or spiritual life is simple. Learn to love yourself, face yourself, and grow. If you can do that, this is spiritual life. It's not how many times I took the name of God, how many years I meditated. Nothing. All these things are kind of... Learn to love yourself. And people say, then I'll become selfish. No, if you really love yourself, you will become the most unselfish person in the whole world. Yes. Why are you afraid of this thing? So, this is what it is. So, here the guy says, no escape. Don't have a kind of half-baked attempt at renunciation, nor try to escape from work. Whatever has come to your lot, do it as a duty. And more than that, we live our small lives somewhere in some corner of New York, Manhattan. But you are in your own way doing a duty to the world. Yes. I spoke about evam pravartitam chakram. Everything, it's like we are embedded in a huge wheel, which is whirled by God. All of our actions are important. You are doing your duty to your fellow man, to the universe, to all of creation. Never neglect it. This is the path to everything. Freedom. So never think, nobody knows me, nobody likes me, nobody looks at me. You don't have to bother about that. So if you sincerely do your duties, you are connected with the whole world. Wherever you are, whatever duty, that's the reason why they say, don't say there's a higher work and lower work and this and that. It's work. Whatever has been given in your lot, was fallen in your lot, do it sincerely. Oh, I will stop here. We'll take the 5th from the next Friday. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.